With the help of the ACLU, faith leaders, activists, and parents in Oklahoma, there will now be a lawsuit to stop what would be the nation's first religious public school from opening. You heard that correctly, a religious public school. Now it would be a virtual charter school, but they would absolutely preach religion to their students. And taxpayers will be footing the bill. Now, we discussed the approval of this charter school back in June when board members voted in favor of its creation, despite warnings that it was a violation of the United States Constitution. Remember, we're supposed to have a separation of church and state. Now, the lawsuit, this is the update to the story, filed in Oklahoma County District Court, seeks to stop taxpayer funds from going to the St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School. The statewide virtual charter school board voted 3-2 last month to approve the application by the Catholic Archdiocese of Oklahoma City to establish the school, and the board and its members are among those listed as defendants. Now, get a load of this. The school board is defending their vote in approving this religious charter school and approving public taxpayer money going to this school by saying, this is really about religious liberty. Yeah, but it's not. Because religious liberty means that people are not forced to fund a religious organization or institution if they do not believe in that religion. In this case, we're talking about Catholicism. If you are Jewish, if you are Muslim, if you're an atheist like me, how are we able to practice religious liberty when we are forced to fund a religious organization?
We're all the evangelicals who don't agree with Catholics on a lot of stuff.
Any religion or non-religion, right? Non-religious person. This does, in my opinion, absolutely violate people's constitutional rights. And that is what the ACLU is also arguing, which is why they filed this lawsuit. And by the way, the school's purpose is very clear. The Archdiocese of Oklahoma said this in its application to run St. Isidore of Seville, named for the patron saint of the internet. I didn't know that there's a patron saint of the internet, but okay.
I thought that was Al Gore.
Okay.
That is an old joke.
It is, I know.
Nobody gets it.
I know, I shouldn't have laughed. God, I'm dating myself. All right, the Catholic school participates in the evangelizing mission of the church and is the privileged environment in which Christian education is carried out. So in other words, if you think maybe there won't be any religious indoctrination in this school, you would be mistaken. They're very clear in what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plaintiffs are arguing, listen, this is unconstitutional. Those defending this are hoping that this case will make its way to the Supreme Court, where the conservative majority will rule in favor of the school board approving this.
No, this obviously goes against centuries of precedent, and they're clear. They just read the Constitution and then they do that thing. I'm not worried about it. They'd have to be radicals or something.
I mean, they are self-described constitutionalists.
That's true, and it's not even as long as the indictment, so I think they could get through it. So not really worried about that. But if they don't knock it down, well then.
That's what they're hoping.
I've had a dream of opening a Jedi Academy for a very long time. And honestly, having public money would make it way easier because I don't have money to do that. But if I can get everyone to pay for me to open up a Jedi Academy, which will not only teach what Yoda and Mark Hamill were saying, but also it'll be rigorous exercise, a lot of cardio and lifting rocks. Then you can all pay for that. You can all pay for that and for the new Muslim, religious schools that'll open up, and the Jewish ones, and the Jain ones, and the Hindu ones, and all. It's just anything goes now.
Well, I'm hoping that the Supreme Court justices, should this case make its way to the United States Supreme Court, are aware of what it would mean if they allow for this school to stand, right? Because it would open the floodgates for public money to be funneled into all sorts of religious institutions, which again, we're supposed to have protections from in the United States Constitution.
You would think.
You would think.
By the way, you sort of responded as if I'm joking. What are the
No, I
qualifications to open
totally
up one of
believe
these
you.
schools in Oklahoma?
I believe him. I believe
We've
him.
got viewers who are in Oklahoma. Let's apply. I have deeply held convictions. I've been watching those movies for literally decades.
I believe you. No, I know. Look, I have never questioned your devout faith in Jediism. I haven't.
No, we're not gonna be exclusionary
Never
either.
once.
We'll allow Sith students as well. Honestly, we don't believe in pushing people out. But anyway, half jokes aside, but not really. Let's definitely do that together. Also, isn't it kind of nice that at least in this case they're being explicit about it? That it's going to be, public money used to propagandize to students, rather than like what they're doing in like Florida, which is they're doing all this anyway in the public schools, but they're not officially labeling it a Catholic school.
Well, look, Florida has obviously a different situation going on, right? Where they're trying to change curriculum to indoctrinate about racial issues or whatever.
Yeah, they're giving them PragerU nonsense and all that.
But
so
look, it's harder to sue Florida for that, right? Because
that's why I'm saying it's nicer that in this case they're being transparent about it. They're accomplishing a similar goal in that side, but they're not making there's no crosses hanging on the walls, and so they're less likely to get in trouble.
No, but what I'm saying is I think it would be harder to make a constitutional argument against what's happening in Florida versus what's happening here.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
no, I agree with you.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that. Okay, so with that said, I do want to move over to the Oklahoma Constitution as well, because the Oklahoma Constitution is pretty clear about what is and is not allowed. So maybe this will get struck down by the highest court in the state of Oklahoma, we'll see. But according to section 2-5 of the Oklahoma Constitution, it clearly states, no public money or property shall ever be appropriated, applied, donated, or used directly or indirectly for the use, benefit, or support of any sect, church, denomination, or system of religion, or for the use, benefit, or support of any priest, preacher, minister, or other religious teacher or dignitary or sectarian institution as such.
It literally uses the word teacher. Doesn't say anything about Jedi.
Based. I mean, like they're like, you know what? Some crazy people in our state who are gonna wanna open up like religious schools and have public dollars flow to that institution.
Yeah.
We gotta do something about that.
Seems pretty clear.
Yeah. So we'll see how this plays out. I do believe it's unconstitutional. I want to have faith in our institutions to protect us and our constitutional rights, but we'll see how this plays out.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.